I think I halfway got to it when I started this little topic, but the importance of the routine and why you need it. Like, what is it preparing you for? I think you have good answers for that one.
Yeah, I'll say it from the perspective of myself, at least initially. Simple answer, I'm going to say direction and some structure. I think back to, I mentioned earlier, a version of me, a younger version of me that looking back I didn't really like. There's things that we want, but we don't necessarily know how to achieve them, how to get there, and we just expect it. We almost have this sense of, but I deserve it. Why don't I have it? I work so hard and I feel like I deserve it. Why don't I have it? Well, if we're honest with ourselves, it's because we don't have any structure. We don't have any plan. As we often say, it's pressure the process, right? But process, what's the process? If I don't have a set goal, if I don't know what to me is success, and I haven't mapped out the plan to achieve said goal and reach that pinnacle of success, then what is it I'm pressuring? And at that point, I was pressuring results. But if you pressure results without having a plan and without even having a set goal, it's pointless. So for me, all those things were, all right, I need accountability, I need direction, and I need to be able to do these things. So my wife would tell me for years, even back when we were just dating, she's like, why don't you make a list?
Lists are wonderful.
I don't need a list. I said, I won't forget. I can do it. I'm fine.
Shoot.
Yeah,
that's that male ego popping in there.
It was definitively ego. It was stupidity. It was, I didn't even put enough thought into it to know what would go on the list, to be able to create the list, to then check the things off. And over the years and learning from some brilliant people out there, one that comes to mind is Jordan Peterson. Kind of love what that guy stands for. He often talks about, he calls it make your bed, right?
You've got to make your bed before you get out of the bedroom in the morning if you want to be a man.
Well played. Well played.
That's the best
I won't
one
even
right
attempt
now.
that. It was pretty good. But yeah, so it's holding yourself accountable and doing the things that you don't necessarily want to do, right? So making my bed is a funny one. I do that every morning now. I don't leave the house until the bed's made. I don't go to bed at night until the dishes are done.
I love both of those.
They're two silly things, and they're silly because they're things that I wouldn't have previously done, and they're not earth-shattering, right? Like making my bed isn't all of a sudden making me some wonderful leader, and cleaning the dishes, like, yeah, this stuff's got to get done. Why would you not? Right.
Well, I have something to contribute that was given to me a long time ago from our former co-worker. Shout out Chris Garman of Rise and Grind Fitness Studios in Fishkill, New York.
Yeah, man, Sarge.
He told me, like, from the Army perspective, like, the reason to make your bed, I don't know if it was something he read or it was an Army taught thing, but the reason to make your bed first thing in the morning is because you've succeeded at one thing today before you even left the bedroom.
100%.
So if you do that, you already set yourself up for more success and more accomplishment through the day.
That's right. There's actually a viral video of General McRaven who said the very same thing. It's very much a military thing, and it's so very true. Now, it's interesting. When I first talked about that, I think I shared it in one of my first videos of me just talking to my phone, and I referenced making your bed and how important that is. And I talked to my dad after it, and he informed me that my mom, God rest her soul, love you, Mom, she was kind of offended that I didn't give her credit.
Oh.
Now, here's the thing. I had to tell Dad. I said, there's no credit to give in that regard.
Because you learned it somewhere else?
Well, what she did is she made our beds for us.
Oh, shout out to my mama.
Talk about being spoiled, honestly. Like, Mom was a stay-at-home mom, and she crushed it at that. House was clean all the time. Laundry was done all the time. Dishes, you name it, that stuff was done. So we didn't learn it from the perspective of, you need to do those things. What we learned was, I left it a mess. I came back, it was clean.
Wow. So there's a genie in the house.
Exactly. So as much as I appreciated that, and boy, was I being spoiled, I didn't learn the lesson that I needed to make my bed. It was quite the opposite, right? But then once I started doing that, you get to that stage of life where you're like, well, wait a minute. Now we're married, we've got kids, we've got other responsibilities. There's not a genie in the house, so we've got to do that. And I accepted that role. So, as I said, my wife leaves first. So it's not fair that I would expect her to do it.
So does she feel like there's a genie in the bedroom at least?
Maybe, at least making the bed.
For the first part of the day anyway.
That's right. That's fair. That's fair.
Family-friendly podcast.
Correct. The bed gets made. That's all we're saying. Yes. So slightly derailed there, but we're back. Making the bed. That's one of the big ones. It's the victory, and it is an accountability factor. So it's literally I bookend my day with 2 chores, if you want to call them that I otherwise don't see as being overly valuable. I wasn't doing them for a long time. We no longer have a dishwasher. We got rid of it. We felt it wasn't for us, so we wash by hand. So that sink fills up with 3 kids and the 2 of us, and I don't like to leave it full overnight. I want to know I'm going to bed with that done. I make the coffee every night. It's ready to brew at 4:40 every morning, and I start my day making my bed.